वेलकम टू अबरार इलेक्ट्रिकल वर्ल्ड यूट्यूब चैनल। आज का टॉपिक है कि मैथमेटिकल प्रूफ ऑफ द एक्सेलरेशन एंड डीसेलरेशन ऑफ अल्टरनेटर या रोटर ड्यू टू द एनी स्मॉल और लार्ज डिस्टर्बेंस इन द पावर सिस्टम। तो इन द कोर्स ऑफ स्टडी ऑफ पावर सिस्टम स्टडीज we have discussed two kind of power system studies. One is the two major, that is the transient is the for the large disturbance, and the steady state stability limit is the for the small disturbances of one or two cycle. And when it increases from 4 to 5 cycle or more, then it becomes a large disturbance. So in both the cases we have discussed the stability limits. Especially that in the transient state stability, we have discussed the disturbance of the rotor angle delta. And with the help of this diagram here, we have always explained to you that what happens when there is a large disturbance in the power system right here. So this is just for the reminder that you have a curve, parabolic curve here, which is the parabola open downward and governs by the equation by P is equal to V square X sine delta. Remember, V square is ES ER, or ES ER when they are equal, assumed equal, then we can write it V square or E square. So both the equations are correct whether you write ES multiplied by ER, sending and receiving in voltage, and then divide by X and sine delta. Delta is the angle between the two voltages. Then we discuss the mechanical power, which is shown here with the red line, and when they are cut at a point, that point is known as the point of equilibrium, where the Pm is equal to P electrical. This is not maximum, this is the P mechanical is equal to P electrical. See, this is a rotor here, and I have shown you a very rough diagram. This rotor is moved by the some kind of prime mover, and this is the mechanical force applied to this one, and due to the movement, and the magnets are here, and this is a stator winding, then EMF is induced in the stator, and the magnetic force, a revolving magnetic field is also developed in the stator. So there are two then forces. One is the electromagnetic, that is the electrical force, and other is the mechanical force. So in between them there is a little angle, and that is known the delta. So that angle is disturbed between the mechanical and electrical power. These are the torque, and then you can convert it into power. Now we start with this equation. This is for the explanation, and now we start. This is the equation of power swing. Now the derivation of this equation I have omitted because that is not required for us. Us means the electrical engineer. We are interested in this electrical equation. Before this, if we start from the very beginning, it starts from the mechanical equation and the torque equation, and then torque is converted into power, and then you get this equation, that mechanical torque is equal to electrical torque, and ultimately you get this equation here. So we will start from this equation here, and for this d delta square divided by dt square, I will have to explain with the very simple 8th and 9th class knowledge of velocity. So what is the velocity? Come here at this point here on this pink level here. Come here at the pink level, pink, and then you can see here that suppose x is the distance, t is the time. What is the velocity? Velocity is the rate of change of distance with respect to time. So dx by dt is what is the velocity. And when we calculate the acceleration, we further differentiate it, and we get dx square and dt square, and that is known, the second differentiation is known as the alpha, or the acceleration. So this x is replaced by delta here, it means that d delta square divided by dt square is actually the angular acceleration, because we are talking here about the rotating kind of movement. So this is the rate of change of angle with respect to time. So to explain this, I have given this example here, so it becomes very easy that this is the rate of change of angle with respect to time, and this is the acceleration or the deceleration. We will see it later. It is the rate of change, so let's call it acceleration, and m is the moment of inertia, which we have discussed in many equations. Now we will take three conditions, 1, 2 and 3. So you will follow me. At 1, the steady state, what is this one here? When Pm is equal to Pe, it means no disturbance, system is running okay, everything is fine, everything in its limit, and Pm is equal to Pe. Now I had told you with the help of this diagram many times that when there is a fault and the line trips, the load goes away, load is rejected, and the generator rotor is accelerated. And we had mentioned here that it will accelerate, not like this, it will accelerate in the term of the angular delta, and ultimately when delta is shifted from delta naught to some other delta 1 here, then you will see the mechanical power comes here. Electrical power comes here, mechanical is left behind. If the load is decreased, then the delta may be reduced. So here we are talking stability state. So Pm minus P is equal to 0. It means that they are equal. Therefore, when Pm minus P are equal, the difference will be 0. It means the M alpha is 0, and that means the alpha is 0, which is the steady state condition. No acceleration, no deceleration. So our topic is what? Mathematical proof of acceleration and deceleration and steady state stability with the help of the equation. And I have divided my lecture into two stages, you can call it. One is for the field engineer or the senior engineer who are not too much interested in the equation, and we have given the explanation from this graph only. But if you are pursuing your MS or any other research work, then you must concentrate on the equations as well, otherwise it will be difficult in mathematical modeling, etc. So now see the equation 2. Suppose mechanical power is greater than P. What happens? Line is dropped, tripped. So electrical power reduced, but immediately the governor will not control the speed of the rotor, and it will accelerate. So now see here, when Pm is greater than P, yani P is reduced to a certain level or it has totally gone away, then Pm minus P is positive from the equation. Nothing difficult. Pm minus P will be greater than 0 because Pm is greater than P, so M alpha will be greater than 0, that is the positive, means acceleration. See, prove by the equation that when electrical power is less, the rotor will accelerate. Now means deceleration, line is again on. I have discussed all this without this equation for the field engineer, but if you are interested in math, this is not very difficult, but if you are pursuing MS, this is the essential item. For 3, when mechanical power is less than PE, suppose extra load has come on the line when line is switched on due to the change in the configuration of the network. Some tripping has occurred somewhere else, some alternator gone out of the bar, some split out of strip tripping has been done. So then what happens? Pm is less than P, so this is negative now because P is greater. So when this is negative, automatically it means this is the deceleration. So by mathematics we have proved all this. Now this equation, power swing equation, is related to the one to the steady state stability, to the transient state stability. Also we had discussed this phenomena of acceleration deceleration when we were discussing the power swing with reference to the distance relay. So whether studying the distance relay are studying the transient state stability or steady state stability for all these three phenomena or characteristics or behavior of the power system, this equation is essential to know. And I have started with the electrical equation and I have omitted the upper part of this derivation, which is purely mechanical kind of thing. So we don't need that. We are not interested in the mechanical phenomena, we are interested in the electrical behavior of the transmission system, transmission line and alternator. So this is the equation for the alternator, how it behaves, and we have discussed with the help of the graph, but this time this is with the help of the basic equation of the power swing. So not very difficult equation, you can remember this. I have explained to you that d delta square by dt is the angular acceleration. The proof of this I have explained to you with the example of the normal linear velocity, that dx by dt is the velocity and we take another differentiation, then it becomes the acceleration. The rate of change of velocity is the acceleration. So rate of change of the angular velocity is the angular acceleration. So see, nothing difficult.